We talked in a previous video about the funnel health and how you stay as close to 100% health as possible. There's lots of things that you can do to keep from slipping down the funnel of health and ending up in an area that you don't want to end up in. And there's lots of things you can do to crawl your way back up, back to 100% health if you're in a situation where you're dedicated. So let's talk a little bit about what those are. I'm Dr. Blair Masters with AccuSmart, and I really try to educate people on what it takes for them to be healthy and show them the path on how to do it. This is the triad of health. I've talked about this on other videos, but basically there's 6 things that you can do to help improve your health. Nutrition, that has to do with 5 parts: what you eat, what you drink, hormones, infections, prescriptions. Allergies, getting rid of things you're allergic to. Emotion, improving your emotional health. Structure, the bones, the joints, the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, so on and so forth. Your acupuncture system, you can have a big effect here. And then eliminating toxins in your body. So let's talk about different things that you can do in this area. Kind of starting over here, if you're in a situation where you improve your diet, and you might say, oh man, what do you mean by that? I recommend a Paleolithic diet. A paleo diet, I've got a bunch of other videos on that, but a Paleolithic diet is really extremely well-rounded. It is a diet that was basically used for the majority of the evolution of human beings, from hunter-gatherer to what we are today, except for the last about 75 years or so. 75 years, our diets have seriously gone downhill, and we've gone from like eating lots of meat, vegetables, and that sort of thing to eating basically a carb-based existence, and we are not designed for that, for sure. But anyway, diet. Taking vitamins can make a big difference. Say no to sugar. Stay away from sugar. Limit your carbohydrates. And this is all stuff you can do that's like, oh, this is self-care. I can take charge of this. I can do my own research. I can go buy vitamins at the store. I don't need anyone else for this. Prescriptions kind of fall into this category as well. If you're in a situation where part of your health is so bad you might need a prescription, then you have to go get some help from a doctor that's, able to do that. And hopefully the plan would be, hey, this is for short term, and you use this to get over some immediate acute symptoms and get away from it later in the future. Don't rely on this sort of thing to just maintain your lifestyle. Diabetes is one of those things, type 2, where you can get rid of diabetes. If you're persistent and dedicated to it, it's a lifestyle disease. You don't have to live on metformin the rest of your life. You can be healthy and happy and lose weight and have a lot of energy. It's something that can be done for sure. Moving on, what else can you do? Allergies, eliminating foods that you're sensitive to. Oftentimes this requires a blood test to find out what those are. Now, there's a couple different kinds of allergies. There's immunoglobulin E or IgE allergies, which are immediate, and most people don't need a blood test to find this stuff out. They were exposed to peanuts and their lips swell up, or they start to feel it right away. That's an IgE, something that's immediate. There's IgG and IgA, which tend to take longer. So a lot of times a blood test is the best way to tell what foods that you should be avoiding. And this can make a profound difference on your health when you start to avoid foods that are creating inflammation in your body. Emotion, there's a ton that you can do self-care wise, and don't necessarily have to go to somebody for this. Relaxation techniques. Diet can have a huge effect on your emotions. No sugar. Man, sugar is so bad for your emotions and hormones and everything else. Taking certain vitamins is really good for you. 5-hydroxytryptophan is great for things like depression, anxiety. Make sure you do your research, because if you're taking an SSRI, you don't want to be taking 5-HTP. They're not compatible, so be careful. Omega-3s, everybody ought to be taking omega-3s no matter what, and this can have a profound effect on emotions. forgiveness, working on forgiving in your life, or going to church, going, doing whatever it takes to get your emotional health in better shape. And some people need to go talk to somebody. Talk therapy is great for you, seeing a psychologist or a counselor. Hopefully you won't be in a situation where you need some kind of medication over here by a psychiatrist. That would be really not good if you're doing that, and try to get off that as quick as you can for sure. Bound to structure. These are, again, things you can do yourself. Massage, if you've got a significant other, they don't have to be necessarily trained to give you some benefit, although going to a licensed massage therapist can have an extremely high amount of benefit. Going to a chiropractor, this is a structural thing. Now, you'll notice I did omega-3s over here as well as over here, but it's actually a nutrition thing. Well, how does that work? Omega-3s are highly anti-inflammatory. So if you're having arthritis or anything like that, oh, my back hurts or whatever it is, omega-3s can make a big, big difference in regards to structure. Start an exercise program. It cannot be overrated. The only people that shouldn't exercise are ones with a broken leg, and then you can lift weights with your arms. It's really exercise. Every study they've done on exercise shows it is beneficial. Stretching, rolling, this kind of thing can make a huge difference structurally. Watch your posture. I've got other videos on that. And then your acupuncture system. I recommend electroacupuncture. I have a book. If you will cover shipping, I'll send you an electroacupuncture stimulation device that is great at stimulating acupuncture points with a mild electrical current. And we have a book that has 100 different symptoms in it that you can look up acupuncture points over the millennium that have been shown to help that particular problem, and then a little commentary by me on other things you can do as well that fall into the triad of health. Anyway, I hope this was helpful and kind of gives you an idea of all of the ammunition that you already have at your disposal if you just take action to get rid of whatever kind of health problem that you're having. Thanks for listening.